Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a review, tutorial, and some swatches of this baby right here. I've been waiting to show you guys this palette since I would say last year when they had their a few months ago when they had their last restock, and I was able to pick up this baby. I hadn't been able to pick it up prior to their last restock, so I was so happy I finally got this palette. And then they released like a statement on Instagram that this baby was going to be coming back this September, October, I think October, something like that, and it's going to be permanent, which is amazing. This palette in itself is amazing. So it has this amazing gold like tribal print detail all over it, and this is actually a slip. I wish this was on the actual palette because that would have made it even more amazing, but nonetheless I still love the palette. So I like to keep it inside the slip just because I like to see this. And I really love that. So I got my palette months and months ago, guys, and I've just had it. I've used it, I just never really talked about it much. I think I posted like one picture, and I didn't talk about it because it was, you know, sold out again, and they said it was never coming back. So I didn't want to like be showing it and it not be available for people to purchase and stuff like that. But when I found out that it's going to be permanent, I was like, you know what? I need to talk about it. I need to do a video. I need to tell you guys all about it. So take off the slip, and it's black, like a velvet texture material, and it says Colored Raine, Queen of Hearts in gold. I love the black and gold detail. Those are actually my favorite colors. And then you open it, and looks like it has a mirror right here, and the inside is like a foiled gold detail. But look at those colors. Are they not amazing? Oh, I am obsessed with this palette. I'm just gonna say it right away, but I am going to give you a few details. This palette does contain 6 matte and 6 foiled eyeshadows. It retails for $50, which I know is a hefty price for a palette. So it also contains 17.5 grams of product in total. It is made in the USA. It is cruelty free. Now a little bit about the eyeshadows. The shimmery shadows have a denser, like more like a cream-like texture, which I personally really like. It's not a cream, it's a powder, but it has that cream-like texture to them, which is really, really nice. And then I will swatch some of those so you guys can see. So this is a gold, and the color is called Your Majesty, one that I used today. And another one is called Noble Woman, which is stunning. Do you guys see that? How it looks like it's wet? And then I'll swipe it back here. Do you guys see that pigmentation? Let me try a few more colors of the shimmery ones. This one's really, really pretty, and it's called Royal Highness, which is this one right here. Look at that. You can see like the foil in the eyeshadow already. Do you see how they like glimmer, and they're just really, really, really pretty shimmery shades. I feel like they did such an amazing job with those, because I feel like sometimes in other palettes, like, you know, those can be like not as good as you would expect them to be. Even though they're like super pigmented, they fade away or something like that. These do not fade, and I have issue with some eyeshadows in different palettes that fade on my eyes, even if I use a primer or if I don't use a primer. I've tried this both ways. I've had plenty of months to try this out. I've tried them with primer and without primer, and I find that these do not fade, which is an A+ for me, because I need something that's going to stay on my eyelids and not fade away throughout the day. Now, these mattes in this palette are a little bit more dry, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing necessarily. I find that I like my mattes to be a little bit more dry because it gives you the option of having an eyeshadow that you can build up rather than applying like a bunch of color and it being really hard to blend out. I find that these are not hard at all to blend, and I will also swatch some of the mattes. Now obviously you guys can see the colors in this palette and you can probably already tell why I purchased it. So the main reason and the main color I bought this palette for was this one right here. And this is the color Ladyship. This is my absolute favorite color from this palette. And I'll swatch this. Do you guys see that? Oh, the color is gorgina. Look at that. It's stunning. So I know I told you guys that I now like to do tutorials with my reviews because I find that it is way more helpful for you to see how a palette actually works rather than just swatching it. Obviously, I'm not only going to do one swipe when I apply my eyeshadow. You pack your eyeshadow on. So, I mean, not that I don't find the swatches nice because obviously you get to see the color. But if you only get to see the color on an arm and you never get to see how it works on an eye, you know, I mean, I'm not going to buy a palette to wear the eyeshadow on my arms, right? So that's why I tell you guys, you know, sometimes I do swatches of my favorite shades in the palettes or just a little bit so you guys can kind of see the colors. But I do like doing a tutorial using the actual palette and shadows on my eyes so you guys can actually see that they're pigmented and that they apply on nicely, that they blend beautifully. These eyeshadows are incredibly pigmented. They are buttery, like, I don't know, I just love the formula of these eyeshadows, and if they come out with more palettes, I'm definitely getting them because I really like the formula of these eyeshadows, and I feel like they did an A+ job on this palette, not only on the colors but on everything, the packaging. Yeah, I'll show you guys this orange just because I feel like it's one of the brighter colors. Do you guys see that pigment? Let me do it right here. Oh wow, do you guys see? Amazing. I can also do a few more swatches of the darker colors like Queen Mother and Dethroned. These are foils. You can see right away. This finger's kind of dirty. I'll do this one. So let me swatch it on my arm. Do you guys see that? How gorgeous it is. Look at how pretty those colors are. I like that when they don't have like a shift of a different color, but they have like a almost like a really pretty glare foil to them. I love them. So yeah, all I can basically say about this palette, if I already didn't say enough, is that I freaking love it and I definitely recommend it. I know it is pricier, but if you're looking for a really good palette that's like warm and like right up your alley, if you love warm tones like I do, this is definitely a go-to. Another thing I do want to mention is that this palette barely has fallout. I do like to mention that obviously now because everybody, you know, is crucifying every other palette after the Subculture palette on fallout and stuff. This has a very minimal fallout, and I mean I can show you guys. And this is a loose brush. Do you guys see? There was barely anything. Like the color you pick up, it literally goes on your brush. So there's nothing crazy. It's like barely anything. Just want to put that out there so you guys can know that. That's basically it. I will leave a link down below if you guys would like to pick up this palette. Don't forget to stay and watch the tutorial if you want to see how I got this very warm and blown out look. Also, I do include the highlighter I'm wearing. It is absolutely stunning, right? I'm like obsessed with it. So without any further ado, I hope you guys enjoy this video and let's get on to the tutorial. Hey guys, so let's get right into it. Starting off with the colors Air and Royal Prerogative, I'm going to be adding that into my crease as my transition shades and blending them upward. I'm also going to be taking the color Empress and adding it in the crease as well. Now with the color Ladyship on a flat shader brush, I'm going to apply that on my lid and blend it upward, making sure I continue to pack on color to increase the pigmentation, and also blending it out with the color Empress back and forth. Now taking the color Noble Woman, I'm going to be applying that with my finger on top of the color we applied before, and then I'm going to blend it with the color Ladyship again, just so everything can blend nicely, and taking a clean blending brush as well, blending and adding more color. It's just a process. Now intensifying that color again, the color Noble Woman. With the color Your Majesty, I'm going to apply that in my inner corner, and sorry for the blurriness, I didn't notice. I'm also going to be mixing the color Crown in the inner corner with that color Your Majesty, just to make it a more subtle gold instead of like a super bright yellow gold. With the color Air, I'm going to be blending out the brow bone area and just blending everything nicely and making it really blown out. Going in with my favorite highlighter palette at the moment, this Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe highlighting palette, taking the light champagne shade and the last gold shade. I'm going to be mixing both of them and popping them on. Look at how popping that highlight is. I am obsessed with this palette. It is absolutely stunning. Thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Right, but that doesn't now the mattes in this palette are a little bit more dry, but that doesn't necessarily